let me just put a brief question for you. So I just wanted to briefly describe what startups have you built, what projects have you worked on so far, and what are you currently working on right
Right. I'll just give you a brief about the last few years because, I've been trying to build a business from very early days. The first business I tried to build was when I just got out of college, but that will consume a lot of time. So I'll give you a little brief over the last few years. I was working as the product lead at Dukan. I was one of the first members of the team. I joined as a first product person, and then like hands-on building the product for many years. And in the last year and a half of Dukan, that's when GPT 3.5 was launched. So GPT 3.5 was launched, and before that also we were using GPT in Dukan for some small features, not 3.5, the earlier text complete models. And when 3.5 was launched, it kind of changed a lot of things. So then I started building and experimenting with AI tools and products internally for the company first. So I kind of built out a internal chat support system which was connected to Freshdesk, and our email system. It could monitor tickets, close them, give people answers, update Freshdesk tickets, and it worked beautifully.
now?
So
I'm
then
so sorry to interrupt you, but your camera is wobbly.
that's me, and then I have a habit of shaking my legs. So that's
No
not the
worries.
camera. Yeah. So that support system, then we turned out into a product called botline.ai, that made fairly big headlines in the news. It even went to CNN, Saturday Night Live, etc., etc. While being at Dukan, then I started building a couple of other experiments. Then in May 2024, I kind of realized, okay, it's time again to start my own journey, because like I've always had this urge to kind of build something of my own. So in the last 1.5 year, I've experimented with few categories. One would be website building or app building, AI agents or tools. It was called ShipStation.ai, but then we kind of let go of that idea due to certain reasons that we didn't find it very viable. As in the long term, it didn't make a lot of sense to kind of build out on that business. And then this year, I kind of stumbled upon Reply Daddy while working on another idea of mine. So it was a small edtech idea, which is still kind of my primary goal, but like that I've shelved for maybe 5 years later, because I think it will take a lot of time uh, to build around edtech, because it's the industry is a little wobbly right now. I was trying to promote that product, right? It was a B2C product, and since I am a bootstrapped indie hacker, I was trying to figure out ways how can I promote it easily. And I found that Reddit is a good place to promote that. And then I tried out a couple of Reddit products, which were really bad in the sense that they would break all Reddit rules and spam Reddit. So then I thought, okay, let me figure out something. Since I am an indie hacker, I can even build my own scripts. So I built out a simple one page, two page Reddit script, and then I ran that script for at least a week, and I was able to get 127 signups on my B2C product. And then I just
Okay.
tweeted about it, and a couple of people reached out, okay, we also want this script. So I just bluntly tested monetization. I told them, I'll give you the code for $200. If you want, you can have the code base. So that's how
Hmm.
I acquired my first two customers. The moment they paid $200, then I realized, okay, I have a good problem at hand, and it is a B2B product as well. And B2B products are as in comparatively easier to build and scale in terms of B2C, because in B2C you have to kind of burn a lot of money in the early days, and
Hmm.
then unless you find the product market fit, you have to kind of keep burning money. So then I thought, okay, let's shelve teacher OP. We have a good B2B product idea at hand, and that's how Replied Idea started in August. I started testing the script around August 10th. Got the first two customers on the script itself. I gave them the code base for $200 each, and then on 17th 18th August, I decided, okay, now it's time to convert it into a SaaS, right? That's how I can scale further and get subscription revenues and partnerships and stuff. And then 23rd 24th August, I launched Reply Daddy. So that's been the journey. But yeah, I have built around 35 AI products, kind of experimented a lot over the last 3 years, spent 5 6 lakh rupees in just API credits experimenting, learning how to build with AI, what can be built with AI, what are the actual capabilities and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, I mean, uh, what was kind of your thought process behind building these AI products? Was it just because in trend right now, or was there an actual moat to every product that you're building?
Yeah, so I see there is a clear moat, right? Though the thing is that there is one thing called a trend and people just jumping on a ship, right? And then the thing is that every product has a depth to it, right? You can go ahead and build a landing page builder in 2 days or three
Yeah,
days. As in, like,
yeah,
if you know how to build websites, you can build a landing page builder in 3 days,
yeah.
right? 3 or 4 days and take it live. But then again, say you have 6-7 years of experience in building websites, doing SEO, knowing what works well, the landing page builder that particular person will build would be way better. It's not that AI can do everything. AI is a great tool, right? And a great tool in the hand of right people makes it very powerful. So I have learned a lot over 8-9 years. I have learned product, I have learned monetization, I have learned business, I've learned distribution, I've learned digital marketing, I've learned SEO, I've run sales teams, marketing teams, coordinated with the engineering team. I know how to debug code, I know how to write APIs, I know how to use Postman, Zapier, 100 such tools, right? And it's just the accumulation of that. And now, since I always have this urge to test out and try ideas, AI becomes a great tool for me because
Hmm.
I understand what I have to do with it. If I
Hmm.
go to ChatGPT and tell, "Ki, okay, build me $1 billion idea," that is not going to work. As in,
Yeah,
that is basically people trying to sell you shovels. Okay, you can build your app in no time, build an iOS app and make money while you sleep. If everyone can make money while they sleep, why are we even awake?
yeah.
So that's I don't think that's how it happens, but it happens with every industry. Like, for example, when dot com was there, the internet bubble, people said the internet bubble. So a lot of people raised a lot of money. A lot of random companies also raised a lot of money. They just literally bought a domain and created a landing page and they raised funds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
That's the
that
question I
is.
was coming to.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that websites or apps are useless. Internet is, like, we are talking on the internet, and over 10-15 years, the industry flattened out, and the right in-depth products which are actually useful stayed and became larger companies. And this will happen again in the AI economy. I'm pretty sure this will happen again, and I think this is kind of what people call the Cobra effect. So
Hmm.
the Cobra effect is something, as in, you can read about it later. So, like, in 1940s, Britishers came in, Britishers told in India that there is a snake problem, so we will pay you money if you bring us snake, and we'll kill the cobras. And then people realize, ki, okay, if you're making money by killing snakes, let's breed more snakes. And by the time Britishers realized this and stopped the scheme, the amount of cobras doubled. So there will always be people who will try to make some quick money, get quick rich schemes, uh, which would be more loud. They will be always louder because they want to attract people, because it is harder to sell lies than selling truth.
So,
That's why you have to be louder. So that's what is always visible on the surface, but over a few years, all all random companies and players will automatically fall into place.
okay. So, I mean, that's what my follow-up question was kind of now, just what you said. So, what I would like to touch upon is we are sort of in a state of euphoria if we take AI into account, and everything sort of hyped up and the valuations are extremely high. So
Right.
would you say we are in an AI bubble as of right now, or everything's going to be justified, even the valuations down the line?
Yeah, so down the line, most of it will be justified. See, at a larger picture, it will get justified. As in, say, there are 10 companies, who have six of them have high valuations, and four of them are even invisible right now, or maybe don't have very high valuations. Those six companies might crash and come to zero, but the four other companies over the 10 years will grow exponentially so much that they would justify the valuation alone.
Okay. Yeah. And so Paul Graham kind of suggested that AI will create thousand more startups, but lesser, lesser fewer unicorn. So
Right.
if everyone can build and only few can win, what's one thing that the winners who are actually building unicorns are doing differently than ones who are sort of failing behind?
Yeah,
You would say.
that I only can answer if I am able to build a unicorn. But the first part I can answer. See, what I clearly see happening, and these are again all my personal views and based on my personal interpretation
Yeah, yeah.
interpretation and research. This is
Mm.
not, I'm no expert. I'm just literally sitting in
Oh,
my room and giving advice.
cool.
Uh, so what I see is that there are two parts to any product. One is the core logic and the core functionality or feature it offers. The second is making it sellable, making it monetizable, right? Say a simple to-do list, right? Now if you have to there are people who are selling to-do lists and making hundreds of thousands of dollars on to-do list as well. But now
Oh,
say you are having a subscription of cloud code, which is a $20 subscription. So there are a lot of very small use cases that you can solve for yourself, and it does not take more than a day or two to build an app for yourself, right? The core logic is very simple. You can add a very simple database with a single email login. You don't need to even need to have a sign up or password reset or social auth, because only you can access the app, only you have the password, right? But now when you plan to monetize it, that's when 90% of the other challenges come in. That you need to have payment gateways, you need to have password reset, social auth, you need to have security, architecture, scaling, edge infra, CDNs, whatnot to optimize the app. Then you need to have good creatives. So there are a lot of use cases that people pay for on a day-to-day basis, right? And that I think will get replaced by these products. As in, if with a cloud code subscription and with a cloud code subscription, I can build two, three apps for myself, apps like a to-do list or maybe a gym tracker or a habit tracker or gym planner, new diet planner, taking pictures of food and counting calories. All of that I can build in a day for myself, right? So in a month I can build two three such apps whenever I feel the need of it, and that saves me a yearly or a monthly subscription on these apps of $10-20 per app, which is like $200 per year, which justifies me using products like cloud code or cursor, or maybe in that case, lovable and replit will one day be capable enough to build such apps. So then these tools might and should kind of replace this, right? And building a large company in the AI era, I'm not so sure. I don't have a very clear picture on this, but like what I feel is, since I use the LLMs, I use the APIs. What I see is that there are tens and hundreds of products, right? And everyone uses the same OpenAI or the cloud API. No one has some extra magic or some magic stick. It's the only one API endpoint. You send some data, you receive some data. It's just that what kind of data you are sending and what you're receiving and how you're executing that data, right? And the only change comes there in the UX or UI. Almost all apps fundamentally work at the same level, but if people are able to figure out the depth and execute it at a way that it provides a lot of value, right, which other people are not able to figure out, or it might take them a lot of time and effort and industry knowledge, right? Say simple example, outrank.so. So outrank.so is a product by an indie hacker where they are doing around 150K per month, 150K, 160K dollars per month, which is good enough, as in like to start with. It's just a 1 year old company, but that guy has 7 to 8 years of experience in search engine optimization, writing perfect blogs. So I can build a blog writer for myself in one day. But then I go into the depth, then I see, okay, there are 17 categories of blogs. There are listicles, there are case studies, there are how-to blogs. Then you have to insert anchor links, there are author names. You can add competitor links. You have to have a particular architecture and structure of the blog. You can only stuff keywords to a certain limit, how to target the keywords. So there's a lot of depth in every industry. So people who are building at depth, they can build great tools, because then I can subscribe to them, because it's saving me a lot of time, because it will take me 3 years to learn SEO. And after learning 3 years of SEO, then only I can actually build something with AI that is at that level. I can prompt build a blog builder, but it will not be as good as the blog builder being built by someone who has industries of experience in it, years of experience in that industry. And you can't replace that. You can't replace that. Uh, it's very simple. As in, like, uh, even to prompt the AI, you need at least to know the words, right? For example, there is a cancel button in the bottom, right, which is a red color cross, right? So if someone does not know that it's called a cancel button, they can write thousands of line explaining it, that I want a red circle with a X in it. When I click on it, this should happen, that should happen. But I can just say cancel button, right? Then AI can access the knowledge that it has around cancel buttons and do it. Same goes for, say, a toggle or a design system like neo-brutalism. Slack's design system is called neo-brutalism, right? So you can either write thousands and thousands and thousands of lines explaining how to build that. Okay, round like this, color like that, add some flowers here, add some flowers there, or just add one word, neo-brutalism. But to understand that one word, you need to have that experience. That's how you are able to compress that knowledge into one word, right? So again, so same goes like black hat SEO. So you can write black hat SEO or gray hat SEO, but you need to know the word and what is the meaning behind it. And the meaning behind those words is fairly large and long. It just does not, you can't just read it on the internet and uh, remember everything in 2 days. Yes, you can skip a lot of parts, but still you can do it faster, but you still need that level of knowledge and in-depth learning. And I don't think that is replaceable. As in that, again, per my personal thoughts, maybe newer models become way smarter, and then if they become even way smarter, then I guess everyone will lose jobs.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. On the similar lines, I mean, uh, I met you for the first time at the growth thing where you were sort of showcasing what exactly AI agents can do.
Right,
And so, if I were to kind of put it in a way that AI agents are, I mean, it's a very obvious case that AI agent is much cheaper than a person who could do the job.
right.
So, from your
But
perspective,
you still need the person to guide that AI agent, to
yeah,
write that AI
exactly.
agent what it needs to do, right? You can't tell ki, okay, you can tell the AI agent, okay, take my website to the front page of Google,
Yeah, exactly. That
on
was
the
my
first keyword.
question.
The AI agent
Exactly.
can't do that. As an
Mm.
AI agent has a brief knowledge on how to do that, but it cannot actually execute the whole plan. Because it requires layers and layers of stuff to make that happen.
Exactly. That was my kind of question, that how are the jobs where these agents will be sort of implemented according to you, and what are the fields that you think might get affected the most?
Uh, yeah, again, I don't want to predict on this, but like what I see at first is the there are so there's this management layer in every company,
Hmm.
right? I'm
Hmm.
not saying the management layer is bad, but right. So what I feel at first is like uh, the folks who are not very high agency, as in the people who get directions instead of giving directions, would kind of start getting replaced, right? It is as simple as that. If you just follow some directions given by someone, you are replaceable, as in you don't bring anything of yourself on the table.
Hmm. True.
And if and to know how to give directions, you need to be highly skilled in your field, you need to be fairly confident. And if I can give directions to an AI agent, then why should I give directions to you?
Yeah.
That is
True.
the kind of fundamental logic, but then it again depends on field to field. As in, I can't change a restaurant chef key. Okay, I'll stop giving in directions and put an AI agent, because the technology is not gone that far. But obviously I can replace some a project manager, which is
Oh.
managed by some tech lead or some CEO, that the CEO
Hmm.
can give directions to the AI agents, and the AI agents can manage Jira boards, track the team's progress, give further directions to the team, and the team can talk back to the CEO. All that context layer can be managed by AI agents very
So
easily.
sort of the repetitive task which I need to be given direction.
A repetitive task where a lot of high agencies kind of not required. You're just tracking stuff and keeping a track of stuff and assigning tickets here and there, ensuring that the team is working on time. Now, if your 10 engineers have Cloud Code Pro, they can, if they're high agency, they can exceed the timelines, as in like as in you've given a 10-day timeline, they might get the work done in one day. So now what's the job of a project manager? If the project manager is not himself leading and becoming high agency, and then getting on 10 projects, so that they can increase the efficiency of the company, then what's the use case, right? So if people who have gotten comfortable and are still not accepting that AI is here for good, it is not going anywhere, would have to kind of change gears, probably. And then again, it depends on the company, right? The mindset of the leaders. So either today, if a AI agent can increase the efficiency of a product manager by 3x, and you have three product managers, now either you can grow your business by three times, or you can let go of two product managers. That depends on the thought leadership, where the company is at in their state. If there is no space to grow in the market itself, then obviously there will be no choice to let go of people and make more profits and revenue, add more shareholder value. But if there is space to grow, then obviously then I think the vision should be to grow the company 3x, because if you can
Hmm.
work 3x, why not grow the company 3x instead of letting go of people? But then again, the people should also understand this, that they can work 3x in the same time. It's not like they have to put in more effort or more hours. in the same amount of time they can work 3x because they have such tools at hand.
So, I mean, as you just said, you sort of have hands-on experience in building all of these projects and products. Now, from a very personal perspective, what do you think? So, from the early 2010s, I think the only constraint would be for a founder is sort of the capital side of things. But now
That
that
is
the
that is not a constraint anymore, right? Because like the capital, in the early days, there are two reasons that you require capital,
Hmm.
right? One is to hire a team. Second is growth and marketing, right? Both of them now can be solved. Growth and marketing could be solved earlier as well. Hiring a team could not be, as in like there are a lot of bootstrap founders from those times which did not have any money to market, and they have built great bootstrap companies. There are large bootstrap companies like Odo, Ahrefs, which are in billions of dollars of valuations, right?
Hmm.
Now the hiring team part. If you are high agency, you don't need any you can, as in I don't know how to code, but I learned how to read code and logic. Since I have a computer science background and have been a product lead, I know how to debug, how to use Postman, how to check console logs,
Hmm.
how to check the network tab, how to debug systems. Then I spent 3 years reading and understanding code. As in, still today I can write partially, but I understand almost everything there is to understand. If I don't understand, I go on the internet, I ask cloud to explain me what are race conditions, what are the optimal solution for race conditions. Okay, this is a particular problem, how to use Redis, how to how to manage caching. And you don't have to learn everything at day one, because that is also a blocker. Unless you run into problems, there's no point going, watching 10 YouTube videos, because after watching 10 YouTube videos, once you run into the problem, you'll again go and do a Google search or ChatGPT how to solve this. So why was those 10 YouTube videos? So if you're high agency, you don't have a blocker of having a team, at least in the early days. Because say for example, I know, if reply daddy, I know how many I would say trade-offs I've taken. I know that after 1000 users my app will start crashing.
Hmm.
But let me reach 1000 users. No, because once it reaches 1000 users, I'll be making $50,000 a month. I will hire 3x better developers than me. That is the
Hmm.
whole point. It's
Hmm.
not that okay, on day one I have to build for 1 million people. That is the
True.
biggest problem, right?
That's a very good point.
So for example, like on reply daddy, I don't even have a sign login with email and password, because I know then it requires a password reset page. Then I just have Google Social Auth, because I know 85% people already do that. And at this scale, that 15% doesn't matter. After 1000 users, I'll add a sign in with email and password. Because like even if I optimize for that today, I will just add 3 or 4 more users. Instead of that, I can optimize on marketing and add 10 more users by that method. So it's just that the trade-offs and decisions that you have to take on a day-to-day basis. And that conviction you can build only by testing and testing and testing and learning yourself, or work in that high agency environment. It's really hard for I have seen people. It's really hard if you have joined a FANG company. You are already built into these large systems where there are 10,000 of employees, and you are fit into a small box moving something. So then it becomes, and you stay there for a long time, it becomes really hard to unlearn, because then on day one you need that comfort. You are used to that practices. Okay, the architecture should be like this, or what happens if this edge case is there, and let that edge case happen. What is the worst case that will happen? Your server will crash. If your server will crash and no one is shouting, then no one needs your product anyway.
Hmm. True. Exactly. So the- now that everything sort of requires like no money to even execute, what do you think going forward will be the moat now that the cost of execution has sort of come down so drastically?
It would be just the willingness to take that risk, and even if you fail and getting back up, it has always been that never changes. If you're not
Hmm.
willing to risk, right? It's like you want to invest in a business, but you want to be sure of the ROI. Then why is not everyone doing a business? Matlab,
Yeah. But
like,
now,
I
don't you
want to
think
invest.
people can like build a startup with fraction of cost what would require like a while back?
The cost has still not gone up. Like people have built startups from zero money, and taking monies on loans also.
Hmm.
It's just that the willingness to take risk has gone down. As in, this is my fifth attempt of building my own company. Except that I've worked jobs for 6 years parallelly. I've attempted building a business while I was working at a brewery. I would leave the brewery at 8 9 p.m. Then go to my cloud kitchen, be there at be there till 2 3 a.m. I did that for 9 years. It almost became successful. Then COVID came, and in the first month we ran out of cash. We became profitable, but we still ran out of cash. Then my morals went down. Then I was like, okay, I understand the business now. I can build it later again. Let's as in, at that time Sumit called me, you come build Dukan with me, right? You are the right person to lead product. So I thought, yeah, that this is a better opportunity, and that was my decision. Kya, okay, a B2B SaaS which can help people build their own business is more scalable than building my own cloud kitchen. I can go back and build the cloud kitchen any day. I know the system. I already became profitable, and God forbids I will not make the same mistakes of running out of cash flows. Uh, then I can do that again. So it's just that willingness to take action. The bias for action is the only thing that blocks people, and and that is the only thing you have to overcome. And there is no guaranteed success. As in, even for reply daddy, I still know that there is only a 5% chance of, as in, according to me, I'm already successful, but like a 5% chance of success defined as per society, right? As in, if you look at the math and statistics, the most successful founders are aged beyond 40 and 45. The number of successful founders in my age bracket is 5%. So I already know that the chances of my success are 5%, and 95% chances that I'm going to fail again. But you only live once. If I have to be in that 5%, I have to try, right?
Yeah, true, true. Okay, so on the last to cover up on the similar lines, I would say if you were to build today, uh, apart from Reply Daddy or the startups you've built, if you were to build a startup from ground up, how would you implement AI agents while you're building? And if someone's
Right.
watching, how could they use AI agents in their startup world?
Right. So over the years, I what I've realized is that it's better to just start building something. Build anything, build any random copy, any startup, do something, just do something, right? Do something of your own. Because what happens is that when you if you try to find problems, you will create a solution in your mind, and then you would create a beauty around that solution. Ki, okay, this looks very beautiful, and I'm going to build this, right? But I think it works the other way around, and this is again my personal learning, that when you do something, problems will automatically come and find you. When the problems come and find you, then you validate ki, okay, do other people also have the same problem, and then you build around that problem. Or another easier path is that, say, you have some contacts or referrals in network. You go to a company and you ask them, do you have any problems? And they will say that I have this problem. You tell them, I will build a solution around this problem, and they then start making money on that, and then check if other people have the same problem, sell the same solution to other people, instead of thinking of a solution in your head and making it very beautiful. I've done that mistake many times. uh, Ideas are worthless, literally worthless, unless it is like a very deep tech IP or a patent kind of an idea, right? You are building the LM itself. You are a scientist or a researcher who discovered something new. Except that every idea is mostly worthless, right? It's the problem. It's the problem that finds you, and then you are able to sell a solution around that problem. Works really well. So how I came to Cloud Kitchen, building my own Cloud Kitchen business, was again in this same method. So I was working, as a business lead or a growth lead for a brewery. So over 1 year, we reached a point that we are doing 1.2 crore or 1.25 crore revenue per month. Now the market in that area, the peak revenue itself average was 1.3 crores. So we can't, I think there's no more crowd to bring in, right? So I can't grow the revenue any further. Now that is a problem, because my goal is to grow the business. Then I figured out, okay, in the empty times, because we already have a kitchen, we'll build 6 7 brands, right? And this is 2019 end, right? When cloud kitchens were still very nascent. So we'll build 6 7 brands during lunch hours, evenings, on weekdays. We'll build a biryani brand, we'll build a pizza brand. We'll not name it under the brewery, and we'll start delivering orders, because we can scale another 30 to 40 lakh rupees of revenue. So this was a problem that found me. The problem was that I have to grow revenue further, but there is no more crowd. So how do I grow? And the things I have at my hand, that I have a free kitchen with a almost a chef who is trained from Michelin star people, and we have packaging, we have staff. There is Swiggy available, there is Zomato available. So why not, right? Same goes for Reply Daddy. I was trying to promote my own B2C app. I built my B2C app first because I have a I have a problem at mind regarding edtech, which I also found, but like I'll talk about that later, maybe 5 6 years later. uh, so then I was trying to promote that, and Reddit was a good method to promote that. But I started facing problems in promoting because people were building shady apps, scamming Reddit, spamming Reddit. Then I went into depth. I figured out what are Reddit APIs, built a solution for myself. And this again is the problem finding me because I was doing something else, right? And there is another product that is live now, which is Notebook. I call it Notebook, right?
Okay.
It's a notebook LM clone which recently got sponsored. It got a $10,000 sponsorship from Delta Exchange, right? And almost a yearly contract at $3,500 per month. And again, I did not discover the problem. The problem found me, right? So I think this is working for me, and or the other way around is that you go to someone who has a problem and ask them ki, what will you pay me to solve that problem, and you think, can you productize this problem over time? Start just freelancing, maybe servicing, and then see ki if that problem can be productized. As in, that's been my approach. Except that if you accept that, you can accept that what you can do is you can just find reviews, bad reviews of already working apps, and build a copy of that app. And but if you build that copy of that app, you would still need to understand depths on how it works, and then you need to figure out how to market it. And that is again a problem because marketing is really hard. You need to have good ROIs, you need to invest money in marketing, you already need to figure out distribution. Maybe you already have hundred thousands of followers, then you can do that. But if you have 500 followers and no one listens to you, no matter how many apps you copy, you can't sell it on day one,
Yeah. True.
right?
Hmm.
So then again you run into problems of marketing.
Hmm.
Then if you are able to solve that marketing problem, then good for you, you can scale. But I think the percentage of that is really 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 low.
Yeah. So that's all. That was all of the question.
Yeah, cool. All right, it was nice talking to you.